Celebrities have fallen far from their larger-than-life status that they enjoyed not so long ago. Not only are audiences no longer buying their carefully constructed personas, but people are actively uncovering the ways that celebrities have been lying and manipulating their fans for years.
This is it. No breast implants, no surgery.
To make things even worse, previously lucrative streams of income like blockbuster films and hit TV shows are starting to dry up. To maintain their celebrity status, relevance, and large income, once elusive and mysterious stars have resorted to influencer behavior, taking on sponsorships and trying to connect with their audience in more authentic ways. But is this the right strategy? Or is it a signal that the age of celebrity is over? This is a question that Blake Lively must be pondering, or specifically if the age of her celebrity is over. For 17 years, she enjoyed the benefits of a pristine brand, but she managed to unravel that in just one short week during the promotion of her latest movie, It Ends With Us. It's hard to believe now that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith were once an adored Hollywood couple, with people marveling at the longevity of their marriage. But now people wish that the two of them would just go away, or at least stop telling us about their cursed relationship.
Why am I not happy?
Even the Kardashians, who have dominated pop culture for a decade, are struggling with maintaining interest from audiences, all while Hollywood seems to be becoming more and more irrelevant with every passing year. Things seem to be a far cry from the golden age when Hollywood was the dominating source of entertainment and its stars the societal focal point. So how did that star power evaporate? In the early days of Hollywood, stars were part of a studio system, and their public image was carefully crafted. Interviews often took place in studio-controlled settings, with publicists orchestrating the questions and sometimes even providing pre-approved answers. Stars were promoted as larger-than-life figures, with interviews focusing on their glamorous lifestyles rather than personal views or controversies. Interestingly, the stars themselves often came from humble beginnings. Clark Gable's father was an oil driller. Jimmy Stewart's father ran a hardware store. And during World War II, Stewart enlisted as a pilot and was a decorated war hero. Even with all their fame, a lot of Hollywood stars lived quite simply, opting for farm or ranch living, and remained quite grounded. Today, celebrities seemingly live in a completely different universe. So in order to maintain their connection to their audiences, they share tidbits of their lives on social media or through the press, all of which is heavily filtered, airbrushed, curated, which works out to one simple statement. They're bloody show-offs. They show off their body, their vacations, yachts, their mansions, closets, purses. Hell, they even show off the purses that they give to their children. It's so strange. I don't begrudge anyone their success, but when did it become acceptable to flaunt your wealth? This, of course, was the strategy that the Kardashians have built their entire empire on, projecting a life and an image that seems unattainable. Using plastic surgery, they've changed most of their features over the years without owning up to it, and peddled products and fitness techniques that would supposedly help their fans get there too. While this worked for many years and drove sales for their various lifestyle brands, ultimately their fans have gotten sick of their ongoing lies and the vast damage they have levied on beauty standards. After all, it's the Kardashians that have been the template against which most women have held themselves, only to now hear Kylie Jenner frustrated about how unfair it all is.
Even if I did get so much surgery, I still don't think it's okay to talk about someone's looks.
I agree.
Like, this is really mean.
Darling angel cutie pie, you are the one who set the standard. You don't get to complain about it now. But the Kardashians have plenty to cry about since business hasn't been great. The viewership for their show is significantly down, and their old antics are no longer working. The Kardashians also perfected manufactured authenticity, where through their reality show, social media presence, and relationship with the press, they have put a version of themselves designed to seem authentic. In reality, it has taken many professionals, like publicists, marketers, plastic surgeons, producers, personal assistants, and many, many more, to pull it all together. Now you might say, how is that any different from the highly manicured image that the studios created for the old Hollywood stars? Fair enough, but the difference comes down to the purpose of the image creation. During the Golden Age, the studios used the interviews to project an aspirational version of celebrity. Polished, poised, well-spoken, and well-dressed. Their personal opinions were completely omitted so audiences could easily believe them as whatever character they embodied on the silver screen. And the movies served a very crucial purpose for people, telling epic stories of heroics and timeless values like bravery, integrity, and fighting for the greater good. The movies gave people a brief opportunity to escape from reality, but what stayed with them was the excitement of witnessing a great tale. It gave them an opportunity to experience the ideal. Some people might say that this is a testament to the simplicity of audiences back then, no longer needed by the sophisticated modern audience. But they would be wrong. The reason The Lord of the Rings has been so enduring, despite being 20 years old, is because it stirs in the viewers the same emotion like the old epics. Turns out we like to be odd, we like witnessing heroics, and we like hopeful stories about good defeating evil, a truth that Hollywood has not just forgotten now, but modern writers actively engage in the opposite, telling nihilistic stories with the lowest form of human behavior on full display. Meanwhile, the stars themselves, now in charge of their own branding, use their publicity machine to curate an image that feeds their narcissism and their bank accounts. Hollywood is the narcissism and merching machine. The good thing is that the more audiences have been exposed to this new celebrity behavior, the more they've learned to see past the manipulation. Speaking of manipulation, have you wondered how much the mainstream media is trying to manipulate all of us, especially leading up to the elections? If so, please consider checking out Ground News, which is a news comparison platform that gathers news from over 50,000 sources around the world every day. You can check them out for yourself using my link, ground.news/baggageclaim. For every news story, I get a quick visual breakdown of the total articles published, the outlets covering the story, along with their political bias based on ratings from 3 independent news monitoring organizations, and how factual the source is. I can see who owns each publication as well as compare headlines to see if the outlet is trying to manipulate its readers with different wording. This way, I get a far more balanced view on the news with every side of every story. I also end up spotting my own bias and where I'm getting stuck only consuming the news that favors my perspective, which I always want to correct. Ground News also has a blind spot feed, which shows roughly 20 articles that are being underreported or overreported by the political sides. So, if you're looking for a better way to stay informed about current events around the world, check out Ground News. Ground News is offering 40% off for the Vantage subscription. This discount is only available at ground.news/baggageclaim or by clicking the link in the description. By the way, Ground News is fully subscriber funded, so your subscription helps support a platform trying to make the news media more transparent and accountable. Okay, back to how people are now able to see past the manipulation tactics that celebrities have been using. This became particularly obvious with the recent situation with Blake Lively, who for years enjoyed purely positive publicity. That is until she used the promotion of It Ends With Us, a movie about DV, to launch her new hair care brand. When she was asked about the serious subject of her film, she repeatedly dodged the questions so she could get attention back to something far more important, like herself.
What an incredible summer you're having. I feel like you poured a lot into this movie, but then you turned around and you were just as supportive of Ryan. What is it like to...
And my hair care company, Blake Brown, my goodness gracious.
Meanwhile, an old interview showed that her sweet girl persona was all an act when she displayed intense mean girl behavior when a reporter simply complimented her on her publicly announced pregnancy.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
With her true colors revealed, her brand, along with her hair care line, have tanked. And honestly, people are just sick of the lies and hypocrisy. During the pandemic and the lockdowns, many celebrities were quick to remind the fans that we're all in this together, only for reports showing many of them breaking the quarantine requirements and holding mass parties in their mansions. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't take issue with people indulging in their wealth, but don't pretend you understand the plight of the everyday person so you can seem relatable, but then turn around and throw a birthday bash on your private island. That's called trying to have your cake and eat it too. Speaking of cake,
Let them eat cake.
this past Met Gala made a lot of people realize just how Hunger Games-esque it's all become. And you only need to tune into 5 minutes of the Oscars red carpet to see the nauseatingly fake and endless compliments they all constantly give each other.
I am here with Ariana Grande, who looks absolutely breathtaking.
You look stunning. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. You're so sweet.
It's hard to believe that Oscar night was once a respected event focused on recognizing those furthering the craft of filmmaking. Now it's turned into an arduous circus of peddling clothes and making already pompous celebrities feel better about themselves.
Milia, hi.
Oh my god, hi.
Hey, how are you? You look stunning.
Look at you, Pula!
Maybe you were trying to smell the carpet.
I was. It smells
Yeah.
like your feet, which smell amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hugh Grant has the right measure of it.
What's your favorite thing about coming to the Oscars?
Well, it's fascinating. The whole of humanity is here. It's Vanity Fair.
Oh, it's all about Vanity
Yeah.
Fair. Yes, that's where we let loose and have a little bit of fun.
No, he doesn't mean the Vanity Fair Oscar party like Ashley Graham accidentally thought he meant. He means a display of vanity, ostentation, and frivolity. That's exactly what Hollywood has turned into, a husk of itself, hanging on to the fading reflection of its prior glory and pretending that they somehow have the higher moral ground.
I take responsibility.
This brings me to the most annoying aspect of the modern celebrity, their insistence on telling people how to think, what to do, who to vote for, as if their ability to pretend to be other people makes them the philosophers of our time. I think Ricky Gervais put it perfectly.
If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. If you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and okay?
Ricky Gervais's jokes at the Golden Globes were so popular because he called out celebrities for their unbelievable hypocrisy of pretending to be so high and mighty while consistently protecting terrible people and sinking to whatever depths to maintain their statuses as the rich and famous. And this is why the age of celebrity is over. Movie stars used to represent an ideal, something to aspire to. As individuals, behind the scenes, they never made it about themselves, but focused on their craft, on their skills and their work.
The easier dance looks, usually the more time you put in on it. And if you can make the audience feel that the dance is thrown away and very careless. You've seen Astaire and Rogers, for example, floating around the ballroom floor. Well, they were killing each other, getting those steps together and working and sweating. But you must never let the audience think you're working hard. If you have to jump over something, you can't make it look like that. It has to be very light and very effortless. And to do that is the most work. Yeah.
The reason Hollywood is on its deathbed now is because people stop putting the effort into making good movies. I don't just mean the writing, I mean there is no talent anymore. Actors used to be a triple threat. They could act, they could sing, they could dance. They used to work on their diction or how they held themselves. Now the actors just show up and play the same types of roles just over and over, in between Pilates, teeth whitening, and Botox appointments. And this is why Tom Cruise is the last movie star, because he can act, he can do dangerous stunts and make them look damn easy. But most importantly, he knows how to shut the hell up. I mean, we have no idea who he's voting for or what the state of his personal life is. We did once, frankly, a little too much. And you know what? It hurt his career. And he learned from it and zipped the lip. He refocused on his work, and in time, the mystery returned, and he was back on top. Meanwhile, the rest of the celebrities are just caught up in what about me land. And you know what? It's about time we left them there.